Nope.
Well, hopefully we don't need Fantasy Grounds because it's not letting me connect to anything.
Cool.
Well, once again, Jenna, you've let me down.
Let me exit and come back in.
I'm sorry that the highlight of a relationship was awkwardly staring at each other in silence that one time. Right?
Yeah, that's it. That was the pinnacle. It's all downhill. We've only had this up for like 3 hours now for troubleshooting technical issues.
I've been trying to fix it for 3 hours.
I'm going back in. Let's see if it works.
Because I was letting it update and stuff before.
Oh, I didn't touch the update because last time it screwed me royally. So I was like, yeah, not doing that today.
Before I updated it, it wouldn't even let me load the join game screen. So I had to update it.
Okay, so I'm back in.
Fantasy Grounds.
You know what my fantasy is? This thing fucking working just once.
It's like if we could take them all. Hero Lab, Fantasy Grounds, D&D 20.
Right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things about each of them, and none of them seem to work
together.
right on their own.
Yeah.
That's it. We just need to design our own. Let's get on it.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
Go, Brian, go.
Go back to school. Get your science degree.
Yeah. So I know nothing about that. I could come up with ideas of what I would want in a program, but making it happen isn't a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I've got enough projects that I'm struggling with, so.
You don't want to add a brand new technical project that you have no idea how to accomplish onto that? Are you sure?
Yeah, that sounds great.
By the way, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm running on very little sleep, a whole lot of monster, and a whole lot of sassiness at this point. So there might be some less than things.
That's fine.
So you're the me from last week.
Yeah.
Rictavio won't know what hit him.
No, yeah.
Rictavio will get hit.
It's still thinking, so just start playing, and if it doesn't load, we just won't have a map, and we'll have to.
Of the mind.
Oh God, my mind is not qualified.
We could
Sarah,
spend
all I want to do is find Leonard now. I want to rescue Leonard.
I know, right?
Wait, who the fuck is Leonard?
She posted a thing on Facebook.
Yeah, in the group page. You got to read it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So.
Yeah.
So if we can't get Fantasy Grounds up, we can start our new bakery.
All right, guys, here comes a 4-hour episode of us learning how to bake.
Yeah, woo.
Oh, we screwed this child up. You got to go get another one.
I'll say, depending on how this goes, Fantasy Grounds may not be needed. So, but
we
anyway,
don't need Fantasy Grounds to burn shit down.
Possibly not. Okay, so last time
We don't need to see what we're burning down. Don't be silly.
Last time on Curse of Strahd, you defeated the Blights at Yester Hill. You tore up the tree and got the stone for the winery. You also got the holy symbol of Ravenkind there. You returned to the winery and found the innkeeper's wife and one of her children had escaped from Vallaki, but the other was taken by the hags, and Vallaki has fallen to Isaac. Let's see.
The one-armed bandit.
Yes. Who is obsessed with Irina and has all those crazy dolls.
Mm-hmm.
But you decided to go to the Bonegrinder and you rescued the other child from the hags. You killed 2 of the hags, the main Morgantha and one of the sisters. The other sisters escaped to another plane. And you rescued Brom, but you also rescued 5-year-old Myrtle, who Air refused to adopt. And Bryn decided to cast command on her to sleep because she was tired of dealing with her.
Bryn's not a babysitter.
We're going to take her back to the Ravens and give her to them.
Yes, Smough
Bryn didn't babysitter trick of here's some Benadryl, kid.
Yeah.
It's
Here's your
supposed-
travel meds. Take your travel meds. There you go.
And supposedly I'm the bad person.
Yeah. Smough perused his new property.
Yeah.
And clean some stuff up, burn all the pies, all the body parts, and the hags, and tried to make this place a little more spiffy. And then you decided to lay down for the night. Myrtle is with Girlage, and Brahm is with Air. And you set alarm, and you went to sleep.
That's right. I was holding the little.
You were holding the little kid, and me and
Yeah, Kraken.
Me
So
and
I'm on
Kraken.
board. Let's find Leonard.
Oh God.
Now, just a little bit of housekeeping. Those heartstones you got, I did a little more research into them, and I don't think you're gonna manage. The hags only can use them to travel through the ethereal plane, but I will say they each have 5 charges on them, and you can use those charges to either cast Lesser Restoration or to give yourselves +2 to a saving throw.
Oh, cool.
But once they're used, the stone's gonna go dark and be useless. So I
Who
think you
picked
have
that up?
I think you have 2 stones. So
Yeah.
Brain picked those up.
And Sarah, I wanted to clarify one of the elixirs I got. You said it was called Mother's Milk, which
Yes.
is not in the DM guide.
1 second, let me see.
I
It's in
looked it
Firefly.
up, and it said it's supposed to be the pale tincture out of the DM guide. So I just wanted to make sure that was correct. That they were one and the
I
same.
think that was correct. Let me double check here.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, on the Hearthstone, you said it heals what?
+2 to a saving throw, or to use lesser restoration.
Yeah, you can cast Lesser Restoration, or you can give yourself +2 to a saving throw.
To yourself, or can you give it to somebody else?
And it only has 5 charges, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 5 charges and then a shot, and you have 2 of them. I'm just gonna say you can just give it to a party member, whoever.
Okay.
You know, that's fine. I had to nerf it a little bit, so to try to make it work.
So just for you in the face to cast Lesser Restoration on you. That's how Bryn is going to interpret that needs to be cast. It's with force.
Yeah, Brian, that sounds good.
Throw the stone.
Yeah, that's all I could find on it
Stone
was that it was
Yeah.
the pale tincture. So I just wanted to double check because
Yeah,
I really like the pale tincture.
yeah,
Oh boy.
that'll work.
That's never
Did
something
you
whenever
get
Brian says that.
the-
I
did
have
you
a
ever
fucking
get the stats
concern.
for the holy
Yeah.
symbol of Ravenkind?
Huh?
Did you ever get the stats for the holy symbol of Ravenkind for me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to add those?
Yes, ma'am.
It's only like you have kids or something during the week. How
Yeah.
dare you.
God forbid you have a life.
Nope.
She doesn't have kids, she has assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. She has
I mean-
multiple Stewies.
I feel like Kira's probably gonna turn out normal, but the other 2 are definitely gonna like kill people.
Well, that's because she has Stewie and Stewie's brother.
I mean,
I don't
really
know.
though,
Kira
Assassin's
got called
Creed
to the
is really
teacher's
great.
desk because she broke up with one little boy. She's going to the dance with another little boy, and then 2 other little boys got in trouble for passing notes that saying the little boy she's going to the dance with is not good enough for her.
Oh my God.
I take it back. You're right.
How do we get Sarah's family a reality show?
And yeah, she's 8, so almost
Yeah.
9. So God help
Never
me.
lit her anywhere near a pole.
God help me.
That is horrible,
I'm
baby.
gonna
Just
now
saying.
refer to Kira as Natasha from now on. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Oh lordy. I'm gonna just link it in the messages, Chelsea.
That's perfect.
There you go. Okay, so there's that. I think that's all the housekeeping. So you wake up. You're in Smough's new bakery, and you got 2 little kids wake up, and Myrtle wakes up, and
One freaks out because I'm holding her.
yeah, Myrtle wakes up, and she's like, ah!
Kraken's giving her kisses.
The woman with the skull face goes, shh.
Just remember,
Only in her brain.
Really?
just remember, I'm the nice one that will keep you safe.
Oh, why is it screaming again? Make it stop.
Oh my god, I agree with Pix.
Yeah. Brahm's just kind of holding Air's hand, and
It's okay, sweetheart. They're a
and
little crazy.
Myrtle looks around and she's kind of nervous about everybody, and then her eyes lock on Solus and she just runs into you.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
blast.
I'm running. I get a big push.
No, fuck no.
There's a
Out the
cloud of
door.
dust behind me.
Out the door, the alarm spell goes off. It's just deafening cacophony. Like, oh, God.
Oh, God.
I was already planning on not really liking kids. And that's really
Yeah. Most
fun
cats
point of that.
don't, so yeah.
Do we know? Myrtle, wait, come back. Don't chase the kitty. The kitty doesn't like kids. That's okay.
Mean kitty. Mean kitty.
I'm all puffed up.
I'll pick her up and put her on my shoulders.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a train wreck. We're gonna get them all the way back to Winery. Alive.
Her
So,
head hits the ceiling and she's like, ow.
Can we just put her to sleep and just
I was
Be
trying
done
to be
with
nice, you assholes.
realizing that Pix is on the same page as Bryn with children are annoying, in Pix's head I just go, okay, so if the winery people don't want the spare, what if we just like send it into Velaki as a distraction? It's loud and obnoxious.
Ooh.
Solus was going to make a soul bag.
Let's take the
Just saying.
Can I do that?
let's take the
Practice.
kids to the winery.
Okay, so do we hear Pix talking, but we have no idea who she's talking to, correct?
Yeah, but all you heard was, can we do that?
I look at Pix and I'm like, who are you talking to?
Nobody.
That's a no.
What? Don't say I didn't. You don't even know what I was doing. I was talking to myself.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
I'm gonna
Well, I
assume
need intelligent conversation every now and then, okay?
Let's take the kids to the winery.
Oh,
Yes,
do
let's
we
do
have
that
to?
to the winery. I offer the little raven boy, like I put him up on my shoulders like Justin did the little girl. That way we can move faster.
All righty.
Hipper, could you throw her there faster?
No.
Pix, children don't fly.
That one does.
We did.
Okay, that
we
one
did
has
see.
wings and turns into a raven. The one on your Goliath's shoulders does not.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did
We don't
literally
actually
see a
try.
child fly.
That's actually a good point, though. Is can the Raven kid like
Turn
get
into
to
a
the
raven.
wine? Yeah, and get there safely and be like, hey,
I don't trust him to fly by himself, but he could turn into a raven and ride on my shoulder, so he'd
why
be a little
don't you
lighter.
trust him to fly by himself? What's gonna happen?
Braun's
The
like,
Raven.
What is a vampire?
Braun's like, I can't fly that good yet.
It's
Oh my god, you're useless.
Come on, let's take the kids back.
I pat his leg and I'm like, it's okay, sweetie, but could you turn into a raven and ride on my shoulder so you're not quite as heavy?
Yes, ma'am.
I fly in front of the kid. I'm like,
Just don't let
hello, this isn't hard. Flying is easy.
Just don't let me.
Ignore the pixie. You're fine. You're fine. Ignore the pixie.
So yeah, he turns into like a little raven, and it's like a little baby raven sitting on your shoulder. It's very precarious.
Okay,
Be
since
nice-
it's kind of
be nice to
precarious,
kids
I'm gonna
on
tuck
free
him like
shinies,
right up
though.
against my neck, underneath the collar
Okay.
of my like leathers, so he's like tucked up there.
You touch my shiny, and it will be the last thing you do with what's left of your soul.
Be nice to the kids.
And I look at the Goliath. I'm like, thank you.
Let's go to the winery so we can drop them off.
I turn invisible. I fly up to the little girl, and I just pull her hair.
Aren't you glad you don't have children?
You
So we're
guys
gonna head out to the winery.
are a mess. Yes, y'all head out to the winery, and you get a pretty good ways. And what's your formation?
I'm walking up front because I'm assuming the people with kids carrying them are on the back end of walking.
I want to be
Where-
a
Where's the raven?
The ravens
Like,
with
against
air.
my neck
Yeah,
and safe.
like where in the order are you then?
Mm,
I guess in the
I'd
center.
probably be behind my sister if my sister's leading. I'm behind her.
I'm gonna be kind of behind you, watching for the bird.
And I'm watching you as well.
I will be behind our faithful kitty cat.
Kraken and I are staying as far away from the children as possible.
Okay. So,
Wait, where's Smough?
Bringing up the rear because I'm slow as shit.
There's
Where do you
monkey
think I'll
feet.
be?
There's no trees for him to swing from.
Running down the road.
Yep, exactly. Every now and then on the knuckles.
Oh God! Great aping it.
This sucks.
okay, y'all are walking, and the mist is kind of thick right about now. It's a little thicker than you're used to. And Bryn, you're walking, and all of a sudden you hear a very deep voice call out, "Who goes there?"
To my party,
before-
did everybody else hear that?
Yeah, and
Does he
before you
want our
can
bones to make his bread?
before you can respond anyway, you see a large man in drab clothing wearing a tattered gray cloak emerge from the mists in front of you. He has straggly black hair, thick mutton chops, and he leans heavily on a spear that he has. He also has a small bundle of animal pelts slung over one shoulder.
Does anybody want to talk to him, or do you want me to just take care of him?
Go easy. We got
Cool
the kids.
spear, dude.
He's
Can
like,
I do?
he's like, what?
I like your spear.
Who said that?
That was my sister. She has a particular gift.
Ah, I see.
Just saying, I can take care of this right now. We can keep going.
Well, let's see what's going on.
If he's not something we need to fight, we can not fight it.
Yeah.
What,
Fine.
what are,
Nobody's
what
gonna
are
let me
y'all
have fun
doing
today.
in these parts?
We're making our way to the
Traveling.
winery.
We're going to the Wizard of the Wines.
Ah, Wizard of the Wines. Are they back in production? I heard they'd shut down.
Yes, they did, but they're back now, and that's where we're going.
And who are you, sir?
Ah, I am just a humble trapper. And he kind of holds up his pelts and he's like, just doing the daily chore.
When he does that, I kind of shift my body so that I'm like blocking Solus from side a little bit. Like, you don't see the giant kitty cat. It's cool.
Does anybody want to roll perception checks for me?
Yeah, because I don't like this guy.
Sure. I'm up front, so I'm probably trying to see what's going on there.
I've got
Well, that was really shitty.
15.
21.
13.
All right.
So me and Luke.
Smough, pulling it out for the team.
Nice.
Smough, you notice that this guy is not really alone. There's two more figures that you can see, and they're kind of making their way in the mist, kind of trying to flank you guys, basically.
I don't like that.
We should have just set the tiny lady on it.
I'm gonna walk up beside Growlich and elbow him and kind of nod towards the other figures.
Can we get going now?
I take the little girl off my shoulder and walk over to Bryn and go, watch her real quick. Oh, air, excuse me. Air.
Oh. No.
That little girl's being used as a weapon.
What's gonna happen is the exact same thing that happens in real life when someone hands to my sister, as though that was the intention all along, because surely no one actually is going to be a child. So it's just like, okay, thanks for this, I guess.
I hand her off to Air. Then I step to the side where one of the flankers are. It's like, tell your buddies to come out, or we're going to play with you first. Then we'll get to them.
Oh my god, I am so tired of this. I just cast Hold Person on his ass.
Can he still talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what
I
does he
am
have to do?
tired. I woke up grouchy. I am not in the fucking mood for this shit.
So she appears and casts
Yeah, I appear.
I was gonna say.
on Kraken's back.
All right, so what does he have to do?
Must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration of 1 minute.
Nat 20.
Shit.
Nat 20. He looks at you and he kind of smiles and he said, well, that wasn't very friendly.
No
And
shit.
he turns into a werewolf.
That was-
Oh no.
This is why we talk to people before we cast Hold Person on them.
Look, we just want to go to the winery. She didn't mean anything by it. I'm sorry.
I pull out.
No, I am in no mood for this shit this morning.
You hear one of the other guys. One of the other
I'd like to
guys.
point out that Kraken is on the ground, so somebody better pick his ass up before he becomes dog chow.
Yeah, because I'm sitting on his back.
You hear one of the other guys whistle, and the guy kind of turns his head and growls, and then he runs over, and they all kind of back into the woods. And before the last guy leaves, you hear him say, we'll see you later.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Good riddance.
In their heads, in the werewolves' heads where no one else in my party can hear it, I just go, the little one kind of has a mind of her own. I was totally cool just talking to you.
We're sorry.
I find myself very in agreement with the tiny lady. I don't want to deal with
my
dogs.
sister and I's deities are actually wolves, so like we're cool. Please
We
don't
really
eat
don't want to
us.
have to fight you and be a religious,
You just hear like a howl in the distance.
I'm gonna take that as a you're cool with us.
I look at my sister. We're so fucked.
Let's go, Kraken.
You know, just when my sister says that in her head alone, I go, all right, new plan. If the werewolves come, we help them kill the party. We become werewolves. We just live here as wolves, as God intended.
I mean, with the exception of Solus and maybe the Barbarian, I wouldn't really feel that bad about this plan. Let's just get them to the winery and then we're cool.
Solid plan B.
I pick up the little girl with my shield arm, so she's kind of behind the shield, and I'm just holding her.
All right.
Yeah, Pix walked up in a
Really
bad mood. She is in no mood for anybody's shit.
I'm gonna reach up and pet the little baby bird's head and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's kind of shivering, but he's up against you. So, so yeah, y'all continue on to the winery.
How do one day?
You're great, Jenna. You there?
Jenna?
I think my husband's trying to use the internet at the same time as me, and it's not working.
There he.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Is there a tabard maker where I can get that disclaimer I wrote on the banner that we can carry with us?
Maybe you find a town that you haven't destroyed.
We haven't destroyed Valaki. We just murdered the people in charge of it.
And let a tiger loose.
No, we didn't let the tiger loose.
No, we did not.
Sarah,
And I was not part of any
you
of
let the
those
tiger
plans.
loose. That was on the DM completely.
I would
None
also
of those
like it
plans.
noted that the entire against letting the tiger loose, because as soon as that was a distraction, we're just like, what the shit, Rictavio?
Yeah.
Fine.
Rictavio made some bad life choices, but that is not on us.
No.
Oh, Lordy. So, yeah.
As we're walking, I would like to be discussing with Pix the fact that maybe we shouldn't piss off every person we immediately meet. Like, diplomacy gets us a long way, and we should go with the, if you can't say anything nice, maybe you don't say anything at all.
I didn't say anything. I just cast a spell on him.
Yeah, don't do that.
He stopped us in the middle of the road.
Exactly. And then his
Yeah.
buddies decided to try and circle us. Fuck that shit. I'm in no mood for any of them.
They were checking us out, and now they're pissed at us. So
They
maybe
were testing the fences.
He did also step out and like greet us with words, not just flank us and attack. So
That's called a distraction.
You don't know that. They might have just been checking us out to make sure we weren't dangerous. And then we just convinced them that we're assholes. So now they're going to attack us.
I have a legitimate question for the pixie who claims to be a vampire expert. What do fucking werewolves hate?
Not a pixie.
The moon.
Not a pixie.
Us.
Not a
I'm
pixie.
calling,
The moon.
I'm calling you a pixie on purpose because I'm pissed off at you.
Silver.
Werewolves also
Maybe hate.
Not a pixie.
All
Let's
right,
get
the
the facts and we'll argue
the
later.
very vampire expert. What do werewolves hate?
A plethora of things.
Are
I mean-
vampires included in that?
Grapes. I don't think they like grapes.
All
Probably
depends.
don't like grapes.
They really do like laser pointers.
Smough's just gonna start walking. Like maybe I can get
Only
some
we have-
pace ahead while you're talking.
I mean, they can depending on their alliance before the.
Oh my gosh.
What if they hated Strahd and we could have had allies and we just flushed that because
But what if
woke up
they're
cranky?
actually aligned with Strahd because they are the ones that are providing the food and bringing the people to him?
What if they
I
shot
don't know.
fireballs out of their ass? It doesn't really matter now. Let's go.
Well,
What if they don't like
kids?
Or birds.
Oh,
Having this
is
argument
all
while
happening
we're walking.
Like this is
Yeah.
not arguing walking.
Myrtle pipes up and she's like, werewolves are bad.
Thanks, kid.
Hang on. No. I want
Sure, I can't put her
Wait.
to sleep.
Wait. I want to pursue this avenue. Why are werewolves bad?
Because
Do
they
do
kill
bad things to
people.
in the village?
Yeah, they kill people. Like the vampires do.
Did they work with the vampires?
They all come at the same time. That's why we have to lock our doors.
That
Okay.
explains all the lovely lycanthrope marks we saw all over the first town.
They're scary.
Just because there were lycanthrope marks doesn't necessarily mean they all work together. But the fact that the
Not
mist
all
was there at the
werewolves.
same time is not.
Is indicative that they probably work together.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, sweetie. As long as you're with me, they won't come near you.
Oh, great. We're going to
So-
adopt another fucking NPC.
Are you gonna be my daddy then?
No.
Oh, fuck to the no.
No.
Not without the pirate's consent. This has to be a couple's decision.
I'll vote for no.
I'm not adopting. No kids. No
The-
children. I have to herd this thing of cats. I don't need kids on top of that.
Yeah, the only thing I've discovered children are good for is pastry filling, and we've had enough of that.
What I meant is while we take you to a safe place, while you're with me, they won't bother you. But you are staying at the safe place.
We're taking you to the safe place along with the little one.
I have a setting question. So right now, Air literally has a shifter on her shoulder.
Yes.
Kind of like a werewolf. So in this setting, are werewolves, do they shift by choice? And are the ravens like openly known as shifters, or do we then expect to come across more different animal
by
species?
choice, just because that guy shifted like whenever he wanted.
The way any kind of lycanthropy works is at some point you can choose to remain in that form and you can then shift whenever you want, but it does turn you into an evil aligned character.
Yeah.
So
But
how
it
do
takes
these
them a long
ravens
time to be able
then,
to shift.
like, because my question is,
Yeah, the ravens,
We
I don't
know-
know, since there's
We know the
different
ravens are
flavors.
against Strahd, and we think the wolves are for Strahd, so they're probably not friendly.
do people know about the fact that we have raven shifters? Or are they underground or caveat?
I think they might be underground because they were kind of shifty whenever we walked in on their meeting that one time.
Yeah, I agree.
True.
It does explain why there was shit all over the bar there.
That's all I can think about. Now that Air's walking around with a bird on her shoulder, she's gonna.
I
Yeah,
covered the
there's
little
just
bird.
shit
Yeah, she's gonna have shit
all
all
down her
down
neck.
the back.
Because she tucked him in there.
Especially how scary y'all are to this kid. Yelling at
Well, we
me.
haven't done anything to the kid.
I've been very nice to the little girl.
Somewhere Diz is just shuddering.
I could have had a sibling.
Thank God Leela's nothing like Pig. Diz would have been dead so long ago.
Yeah, just think what you could do with Myrtle.
No.
Be the new Diz.
Can we teach her magic?
They're taking her back.
Teach her bend?
Yeah, that is a whole bunch of
walking.
Grillich will
Yeah.
die.
Walking,
before
walking,
you
walking.
The problem is if that happens in aesthetics.
Chet, you're breaking up, Jenna.
Kick Cass off the computer.
I know. He's on his phone. He's killing my Wi-Fi.
No, Grillich will die before harm comes to children.
Yeah. So you make it back to the winery.
Thank God.
This took forever.
And I guess you walk up and knock on the door, or
Mhm.
No, I just open it.
I'm reaching to knock and he just opens it. I'm like,
Hey, we're back.
oh, all right.
Guess who's back?
We've got
Good
children.
again.
All right, you open the door and you see people working, kind of getting everything back together. Davian is there with his sons, and he turns to you and he says, "You're back. Did you get Brom?"
I reach up and like scoop him out.
And like as you're scooping him, he's turning into a kid. So it's kind of
Okay, yeah.
and he just runs to his grandpa. He's like, "Grandpa!" And he
We
wraps
don't know if we got the kid, but we found this bird.
I step toward Davian. We actually have a bit of a favor to ask.
I walk over holding the little girl.
Brom wasn't the only child there, and her family sold her. We don't really feel comfortable taking her back there.
Oh, all right. So you want us to take her in?
If you
Would
don't
it be
mind, sir.
possible?
A favor for a favor.
We do intend to bring you back your other gem. That will increase your profit margins, won't it?
Sure.
Surely.
I'm sure we can find a place for the girl.
Treat her
As long
well.
as it's not in a page tree.
And girl, she kind of like nudges you down, and you kind of kneel down. She gets in her ear and she's like, "Don't leave me with the drug dealers."
Oh God.
Why does she think they're drug dealers? Did I miss something?
And she's got like a little tear in her eye, and she's kind of holding on to you.
What's the matter with them, sweetie?
Mommy and Daddy used to drink that stuff, and that's when they would hit me.
Oh.
Oh no.
Damn.
Well, I promise you that I will come back and check, and if they're hitting you, I'll hit them with my axe. And I say that really loud.
You promise?
I promise they will treat you well.
Can I just turn her into an axe?
Quiet pigs.
Don't
She
help.
like reluctantly goes over there, and Davian kind of nudges her over to one of the his daughter Stefana, and meanwhile their mother runs out and Brom, and she gathers him up, and she's just tearful. Thank you so much. And she kind of takes him to get some clothes on and all like that.
I
I'm in-
stop her. I stop her. Can you also watch out for the little girl, please?
Well, Stephania's got her right now.
I meant what I said to be good to her. And I turned to walk away. I'm out of the conversation now.
And he's got a talking pointy stick now.
He
Okay.
does have a funky pointy stick.
Which is true.
So where do you go from here? Davian says. Are you
Crazy,
going back to
but we're-
Milwaukee, or?
I don't know. We need to discuss it as a group to figure it out.
Oh, all right. Well, just let me know. Our wine is at your disposal. It would take us a little bit to load it into the wagons, but
I just imagine Smough like pulling a silver goblet out of somewhere in his clothing, like, aha.
I don't
Draw into a barrel.
I had a silver goblet
where-
in Death House, and now it's gone.
Where is Belarus?
Belarus.
Isn't that where the other gym is?
In the Middle East.
The
I think
tobacco's
we should
weird.
probably fix what we did in Milwaukee.
Yeah, let's go back to
before we-
Milwaukee. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up, honestly, Chels. I gotta find
Okay,
this
I was
map.
wondering. I remember you said I have in the notes that that's where the other gym is.
Yeah.
I have a fight to pick with a one-armed bandit.
Oh boy.
All right. Before we go, I'm gonna approach the orphan girl that we rescued,
Oh, God.
Oh crap.
and I'm gonna
I'm
kind of
watching him like a hawk.
I'm gonna pull her aside out of earshot of everybody else and be like, I know what you've been through with your parents, and it's terrible, but you got a good head on your shoulders, and these folks will look after you. And I hand her the egg that I took, and I said, if you keep it warm, it'll hatch. And you
Oh,
can get
no.
this.
She gives you a big old hug.
Can I roll to
Thank
see
you.
if I see that?
I mean, I've been
Yeah.
watching him, and so I'm just kind of like, what is
What?
Yeah, I'm just
mean-
whispering it to her. I'm not being
Yeah,
sneaky
I mean,
about
you
it.
could probably see it. I don't know if you could hear it, but you're a cat, so you have.
Do
better-
we see that
hearing.
he's being kind to a child?
No,
you
but
see him talking
my-
to a child and
yeah.
hand her something. Yeah.
Because I just imagine that I would literally be in shock. Just jaw agape, pupils round, like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
Air's just kind of watching him like, what the fuck?
And then I'm going to tell her, is like, when you grow up, if you ever need to track down your parents and kill them, you let me know. And then I'll walk away.
That's
from her.
that's the part that Bryn
Yes,
is
sir.
most moved by.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so y'all are exiting and
Turn around and see everybody staring. Just go, what?
We
And
all
he
just
walks-
look in different directions and start whistling like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
so y'all are gonna
Head to Milwaukee.
exit the building and head to Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Wolf.
Oh, is that what we voted for? How did I miss this vote?
You were too busy bitching about the kids being annoying.
That's why I didn't go inside.
See, that's why you missed the vote. You're outside.
yep.
Oh, Pix stayed outside.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
I never said I went in.
you also
Oh.
missed those like only sincere moments.
And the first and the last.
Roll a
Yep.
perception check, Pix.
Oh, here come those werewolves now. Hmm.
11.
Okay. You're invisible, right?
Yeah. It's just me and Kraken just sitting on the French stoop.
I feel like Kraken would smell something.
So everybody exits the winery. You tell him that you're going to Valaki so they don't have to get the wine ready. And you start heading down the road. And when let me see the logistics here.
As we're exiting the winery, I'd like to like pat Smough on the shoulder and just ka-chow.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, sure.
All right.
I flipped him the gold ring that he gave back to me after that I paid him for the priest burial, and then he gave it back to me after he came back to life. I'm flipping it back to him.
Catch
All
you.
right. So
Just nods.
you get almost to the
Red
crossroads.
forth.
And you're coming around the bend. Who's in the front?
I'll be in front.
Not
Kraken
sure.
and I are with him.
Yeah, now that we don't have kids with us, I'm just somewhere in the middle.
It's kind of just a group. Girlich, you're the first one to see. Blocking the road is a pitch black carriage pulled by two solid black draft horses.
Aw.
Fuck.
I'll go ahead and draw out my weed whacking battle axe.
Does the guy have nothing better to do?
Clearly not.
Guys, what
It
if we
just-
just lift the carriage and take its wheels?
Put it up on blocks.
That would be amazing.
Unshoe the horses, guys, quick.
Yeah.
Let's get on this carriage.
I'm gonna whisper in Kraken's ear and go to the nice lady. Go to nice blue lady. And I'm gonna fly off of him and hover next to Bear.
Basically, I'm in a defensive stance, so I'm telegraphed without yelling, "Hey, there's shit up here." I'm telegraphing to the group that there's something up.
Given Smo's track record
Thank
with
you.
our Strahd encounters, I give him one of the hag stones.
All right. So
Does Kraken come to me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up and pop him in my bag, so he's,
all
captain
righty.
style back there.
Thank ya.
So as y'all are doing all this, the horses they're kind of starting to snort and stamp in place, and the door swings open, and out steps an elf. And
Oh, not another one.
let's see, where is his image?
We can't see it anyway.
Yeah. She can share that at least.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I just uploaded the damn thing. Oh, there it is. Let's see if this shows up.
It's an elf in the cart.
We're gonna have to pay him royalties if you don't quit.
She's like, damn you, Slim Shady. Damn you.
Yeah, but it's in there now.
You get 8 seconds. And you still have to promo his new restaurant as well.
That's a thing.
Yeah, he opened up a Mom Spaghetti. No shit.
Oh.
Hold on,
Ryan.
guys. I'm sorry.
While we're waiting on her to pull up the picture, do you have the information for what the stone does written down, or do you need that?
Oh, something about +2 to saving throws and lesser restoration.
Yeah, you can either. It has 5 charges, and you can either use a charge to cast lesser restoration or to add 2 to your saving throw.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm just gonna have to screen share this because it's being a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's not letting me screen share it because it's a bitch. Okay.
paint us a picture with your words.
Let me see if I can share it to chat. and
Use
see.
your words, Sarah.
Is it more Legolas or Keebler?
Basically, it's
Or
an elf with-
Rictavio.
Or
it's an elf
Razzmatazz.
with brown skin. He's got long black hair, a gray cloak over black studded leather armor, and a polished scimitar hanging from his belt. There's also a massive scar over his forehead.
Like he was scalped?
He's just
Like horizontal or?
It's.
Can we
Here,
help
I'm just
you?
gonna have to post it in the group. That's
I'm
the.
so rakish.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's being posted in the our group because
Nerderers.
because I can't get it to do in the chat for some reason. It's being a bud. But
Kind of looks like Jason Isaacs, but with black hair.
He looks pretty badass.
yeah,
Just
So
looks like
he-
angry Elrond.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly like Elrond. Yeah.
and he
He's-
steps out and he's you notice that he is like silent as a cat moving, and he kind of steps towards you guys and he clears his throat. And
Yeah,
he
we saw you.
he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out, which I'm probably gonna also have to post in the group.
Party balloons.
Another singing telegram?
Cake.
He pulls out this note and he holds it out to you. Does any girlage, do you take it or does anybody take it?
I can't.
I'll walk up and grab it, but I'm still at the ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna land on Bear's shoulder so I can read it over his shoulder, even though nobody can see me, but still, that's what I do.
And he just kind of stands there, kind of like a butler attention, which you would know
Oh, you are
from your
so-
experience.
You are so envious.
I may hit him just because I can't do it no more.
Can you? I step forward. What's it say?
I don't know. You read it and I pass it to her.
I was gonna read that over his shoulder. I walk around the back of his neck to his other shoulder. Damn it, because he freaking moved the freaking letter.
Air, you want to
Okay.
read it there?
Yes, I open it.
Alrighty.
It's a glitter bomb.
Yes,
Oh,
that would
God.
be amazing.
We must kill him on principle.
Yes. Anybody have it up to read, or?
I do.
I read it, but I closed it.
Oh, you posted it too? Hang on. I'm
Hold on.
pulling it up. I'll read
Too
it.
many technologies are happening. Oh, Bryn
I
can't
got
read
it.
it in cursive.
I could do it. but
It
you
took me a
keep
while because of the
interrupting me.
S's.
Yeah, my friends, known that it is I who have brought you to this land, my home, and know that I alone can release you from it. I bid you dine at my castle so that we can meet in civilized surroundings. Your passage here will be a...
Safe one.
Safe.
Okay, thank you, safe one. I await your arrival. Your host, Strahd von Asshole.
Okay, now do it like a vampire.
Well,
Strahd von
Tonight-
Asshole.
tonight's not really good for us, but what if we pencil him in on like the 30th of February?
Oh no, we
Next
lost
year.
Chelsea.
Chelsea dropped.
Chelsea died.
Is
That
Kat
invitation
using
was too
Chelsea's
much.
internet too?
She's been dead the whole
Maybe.
time.
Cass's helpful request was reset the router, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till a break to do that because I'm not doing that like in the middle of playing.
Yeah, no.
So all in favor of not going to dinner right now?
Yeah, no.
Like, how long has passed since we woke up? It's a little early anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it took you a long time. That's a long
It
walk.
took like 6 hours to walk there
Yeah.
the first time, I think.
Okay, what did I miss?
They're still
Just
we
debating.
reading the
all
letter.
agreed to go.
We're
Yeah.
really hungry, even though I don't have a mouth, so I don't really, you know.
And the elf looks at you all and he's like, my name is Rahadin, and
Nobody
I
asked.
am...
Nobody
see
asked
fangs?
you.
Okay, raw ass.
Nobody asked you, dude. Just saying.
Oh,
Bad butler is right there.
And
Don't
he kind of
introduce
rolls
yourself.
his eyes and he says, my master awaits you, and I would not suggest to turn down his invitation a second time. If you would please enter the carriage.
Second time? When the hell did he invite us the first time?
Well, us is not
When-
the right word.
Well,
I look at
carriage-
Smough. How exactly
left
is
his
us
carriage
not the
to-
right word?
He did leave us a carriage before, and we
Yes.
kind of took his horse. So
Yes.
There was
I
that.
mean, technically, he got the horse back. And I look at and again, Smoke. What do you mean us is not the right word?
Oh, he invited me once.
When did this happen? And were you going to tell us about it?
Well, you killed me before I could, so you know.
Oh, so
I'm
this is when you were running off with our little damsel in distress through the forest to go to
Oh,
school.
that's whenever he had the burrito chick.
It was
Okay, I remember that.
it was Taco Fridays, and it was bring it on.
Rahadon is like, while your stories of Taco Fridays are compelling to be sure, I
Okay.
would ask that you enter the carriage where we can get on the road. It's a little ways to go, and we do not wish to be late for dinner.
Are you
So,
going to be in the
this is-
carriage with us?
this is Jenna speaking, not a character speaking. If I thought we could actually go and sit and have a conversation without any of us attacking him for no reason, I would be cool with going to do this just to see what happens. But I know us.
Yeah, we're
Someone's gonna-
assholes. That won't happen.
Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, please pass the rolls," and then I'm gonna hit you with this fucking hammer.
Yeah.
in your face.
No, it would be poison in the soup. True to form.
If poison would work, we could just get on that. But
Or Bear would try to, choke him out with a bow tie or something.
yeah,
Okay, can we agree to be civil and do this at
Wow,
all?
you are asking for a lot on that one.
Well, he's promised us safe passage, but he didn't promise us safe dinner.
Yeah, safe passage there,
I
safe
the person
passage
without a
back,
mouth
not the
is
same
not
thing.
really an issue for me.
My lord may be many things, but he does stand by his word. You will not be harmed as long as you do not offer harm.
I mean, so far we've just entertained him and actually gotten his girlfriend to him. So we really haven't done anything against him yet.
I mean, I Jenna wants to go because I want to know what's going on with chick that was kidnapped, and also we haven't really talked to him at all. So I want him to try to like sell us on why we're here, and because
Exactly.
every time he's in a situation where he's like, "I'm not the bad guy. Everyone else is the bad guy," which we know he's the bad guy, but still.
Fuck it, let's go check him out.
I'm already in the carriage, though, so
Oh no shit!
I Misty stepped in there.
I'm on
Called shotgun.
board. I'm on board with this plan. I'm just concerned because we have a track record with two people that I'm looking right at right now. That one of them cast Hold Person like 5 minutes ago, relatively unprovoked, and the other one hit an old woman in the face with an axe.
Yeah, she's looking at the same damn monitor screen.
She was literally just 1,000 gold. Watch out! Right in the skull. Like,
What is Hold
She's
Person?
looking at two people, and she's not even looking at one separate screen. She's just looking at one screen.
just looking at your screen.
It wasn't harmed by the Hold Person. It's Hold.
Because you two are
Pseudo-nonviolent.
to
We
get
have to
wild
be on your
cards at this point. Because I feel like the only
Castle. If we walk into his castle, his place of power, we're not walking out unless everybody's on their best behavior. And I don't want to die here.
Walk in anyways, and I could just fly out through a window.
When did I misbehave?
Really? You got my zombie killed. When did I misbehave?
Yeah, that's reassuring.
Smough's just in the carriage like. Doo, doo, doo.
Let's go check it
Yeah,
out.
I'm now up front, just like with the reins. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Smoug's trying to leave our asses behind.
But he's doing that with his
Fuck
feet.
y'all.
Yeah, with the
Rodden's
feet.
like, please do not aggravate the horses, sir.
They're not listening to me. I'm not proficient in animal handling.
If you and your fellows would enter the carriage, we could get this show on the road, as they say.
If
I'm
Air's
afraid
on,
we're not
Air's
walking out.
on board,
regardless.
Bryn's on board.
I look at Rod and I'm like, do you see these people? Are you sure you want them in your castle?
That is not my choice, ma'am. That is the
You have a
master's
children's
decision.
table for maybe in another section of the dining room.
I go ahead and get on the
We're all
carriage.
gonna die. We're gonna go there. We're gonna insult the god of this land, and we're all gonna die. I get in the fucking carriage.
What are you doing?
What's the worst that could happen?
We could die.
Uh-huh.
The
Nick said,
Kraken's
"Put
in
your
the
dog
carriage.
in my
now.
bag," and I got in the carriage.
Yep. we're in
Yeah.
the carriage.
I follow my sister into the carriage, and I just like to point out my character literally wants to murder vampires because like that's her whole vengeance thing. But even she has the part of her brain going, okay, he literally runs this entire fucking country. He has power. I need to know what I'm up against. I'm not going in it to kill him. I'm going in it to see what I need to do to be able to kill him down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah,
My
Pix
sister and I are
doesn't do
mind
shit.
melding right now. We got this.
Okay.
I just don't trust it.
I'm kind of hunched over in the carriage. And, Bryn, Pix, come here. Can y'all do something your weird voodoo shit, make it so they can't get in my head if shit gets bad?
I'm not in the carriage.
I don't know.
So
you're still-
everybody,
Yeah, I'm still invisible.
is everybody in the carriage, or
Snow and Air are.
Not. So is Bryn.
Oh, Aaron, Bryn.
We got
So
the.
you're
and Girlage
Kraken.
is in?
I am
Kraken.
incredibly reluctant.
All right, but you're in.
I take the
Yeah.
feather out of my disguise kit and dangle it out the window of the carriage towards Silas and shake it a little.
Pix,
I'm not gonna get in the carriage. I'm going to get on top of the carriage.
Rodden
I'm not
looks at
getting
you
in.
and he's like, "Ma'am, it would be much safer for this travel if you would be inside the carriage, please."
How the fuck can he see me?
True sight.
Yeah, some people do have true sight.
Yeah. And he does work for the most powerful man in the country.
Nope.
She
I'm
read
just
it.
sitting
She
there.
read
I'm
it.
like all
Hoping.
pissed off.
Is she getting in the carriage?
Just leave her.
hang on. can I just like stand up on like the railing and like reach around on top until I feel Pix and grab her and pull her in? I'm just gonna be like patting it, like pat the top of the carriage. Like,
Nope.
oh, there she is.
I'm just gonna fly up and get on one of the nightmares between their ears and sit there.
Okay. So the carriage door shuts and Rodden sits up in the driver's seat and y'all.
Sets the
Oh,
carriage
it means
on fire
running
and
on top
y'all
of the horse.
die.
I wanted him to be in the carriage because I want to get sick on his shoes.
Yes.
So he
And
has to
you
look
do
at the
notice
back of my head the whole way now that I'm sitting on top of the horse's head.
and you do notice that the carriage is big enough to accommodate all of you comfortably and it is decked to the nines.
Yeah.
And the
there's-
whole way there, we hear, wow.
Wow.
the,
Because cats hate traveling.
is there
Smough,
a bar in here? Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Oh
There's the
yeah,
bar.
there's the bar. Crushed velvet red seating and interior, you know.
I've already got a drink
Do you
for
think
myself.
they're
poured.
red for like aesthetic choice?
Yeah.
We're
And
going to prom.
do we want to take a break here?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go reset my router and hope that that helps my
The
interwebs.
only reason Pix even got on top of that carriage was because freaking took my puppy.
I do. I have your puppy, and I'm holding him hostage to make you come with us and to ensure your good behavior.
And before we go on break, I just want everybody, Katie and Justin, to meditate on the wisdom of attacking someone who is literally going to murder us with a sneeze if we piss him off.
I didn't attack anyone today.
The whole person is kind of
Is an attack.
His
You have
people
to
were
listen
flanking
to
us.
this.
I was just gonna hold him and be like, okay, tell your friends to come out of the fucking woods.
I just want to point out that we are like only level 6.
True.
That's why I
Most-
didn't want to go have dinner with the vampire.
Yeah, same. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm
but I
only
mean-
level 6.
But the fact that this is like the second time that we've been invited to have like a peace talks meeting, I feel like it needs to happen story-wise.
Nothing
Like
of
I
that
feel
was
like it's
said. It
what's
was just,
supposed
hey,
to happen.
No,
come
Yeah,
before
but-
dinner. You're the dinner.
yeah,
Fun.
pretty much.
Yeah, plus the only personal thing we have is our connection to him for bringing us
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
He knows all about our pasts and all this and brought us here for some reason, and I
Yeah,
do wanna
all-
find that out.
The only goal that we all have in common is we want to get the fuck out of Barovia, and he's the reason we're here. So I feel like to get any kind of answers, we're gonna have to talk to him at some point. And
You've got a backup. You can just become a werewolf.
yeah, I mean,
I've got a
we
bakery
won't
to
live
think
here
about.
forever. Yeah.
I'm Pix. I can turn invisible and eventually figure out a fucking spell to get the hell out of there.
Well, I
And I can
mean,
just put Bear's soul
if
in a
we've
jar
learned-
and then clone him.
if we've learned anything from our Death House experience and Smough's forest running experience, you don't fucking die here. You come back with a curse that sucks balls.
Yeah, and I don't
So-
want to die here and come back with a curse.
But my other thought is I'm not entirely sure the dark power giving people are on the same page as Strahd, if they're on the same team.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Because Bryn doesn't know this, but Jenna remembers that there was a gift given to Smough to counteract his slow movement stuff. So Strahd is like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
sort of
Oh, my
the
Misty Step.
Misty Step boot gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's right.
So the fact that he did something to try to counter something that the dark powers did makes me think he's against the dark powers, which makes me want to know what the fuck is going on in this universe.
I
So
still think after everything that he made a bargain with what are the dark powers, and whenever that backfired, hence Barovia and it being stuck in its own parallel dimension.
which I agree with, but we're never gonna know the truth of that if we don't go fucking talk to him. And at this point, all we've done is deliver a woman he wanted to his fucking doorstep and entertain him.
Okay, we didn't
Like,
do that
when
on
we told-
purpose.
Well, you
Well,
guys
no,
didn't do
but
it
we
on
still
purpose.
did
Well,
it.
yeah. Damn it, Jenna, you're breaking up again.
Yeah, reset your shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Go
somebody
reset.
did that on purpose. Go reset, Jenna. I'll see you in a sec.
But when we killed the druids, like he literally.
Yeah. Go. Reset.
Shoo, off with you.
If we're doing this, I metagaming would really love to, I guess, for our game lore, think that if we all TPK, that my notes, like my journal, gets dropped somewhere and new characters can find my notes.
I think that's fair, but I think if we TPK, we all just come back with more gifts. So, but then we wind up in the same spot we died, I think. Unless he moves us. So, but yes, cat notes need to continue. That's the thing.
At least that way we would have some warning as future players.
I can imagine them trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, not knowing who. What is
There's blue people and monkey
pirates?
We've already fixed the winery. There were hags, but now they're gone. Don't eat pastries.
What is this about a badger named Jokes?
Oh man. I was very tempted to pull that out, but I don't want to expose my animal friends to vampires.
Fair. All right, I will be right back as well.
And also now my autocorrect automatically capitalizes Jokes as a proper name.
I'm excited. I was hoping y'all would go.
Of course you were.
I'll say this. This could go very interesting.
I'm so nervous.
I'm excited to see how this plays out.
It just makes me glad that in general I have set her up to be a character who doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah.
Is more observant. So the interaction burden is not on me for this case.
I've been debating like all week whether I want to try to do the accent. I don't know. I might try it, but I don't think it'll go well. We'll see.
Well, you don't have to stay in it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to listen to the latest Dungeons and Drongos?
No, I haven't. I've fallen behind on that because I'm trying to catch up to Glass Cannon.
There's something about the effort that they put into Glass Cannon that I am really hooked on. I like just how bonkers and off the rails most of the 2 Australian casts I listen to. Just for the lighthearted factor. But he did something this last round that I was really interested in and would like to develop into a larger one-shot. But I just don't know how I want to set it up. It's he had it where there's what essentially is a symbiote and it infects somebody. But what he did was he printed out pages with instructions and then mixed them up. So 2 of them were blank or were just copied and pasted like wiki articles and handed them out randomly to his players. So nobody knew except for the person who was infected, not even the DM. So I was like, we could do something like that, but do like maybe short different backgrounds or different motivations and have Patrick do like he does for Candlelights. It would be completely random. It would be a neat way to do it, but how do you create a setting for that without stealing from somebody?
Okay,
That's
my
what
router
it reminds me of Spyfall. It's like a game we play a lot on game nights. That would be fun.
My router has been reset. I got snacks so I can stress eat through this endeavor. And just an FYI, I have so much anxiety that there's boob sweat happening, and it's not because it is not hot in my house at all whatsoever. It's 64 degrees. So the fact that I'm having like stress sweat about it is not great.
Well, thank you for the mental image. I appreciate it.
I told Luz this could go interesting. I'm excited.
I'm terrified, so
Yeah,
I'm
like I
glad
said in chat, if Sarah's excited, I'm worried.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. This is like probably terrible, but I feel like we can only decline the invitation so many times before we're just straight up being attacked by his shit anyway.
So in the carriage ride, Girlich leans over to Smough and goes, "Hey, pour me a drink, please."
I do so.
Oh, good. So we're all gonna be drunk for this.
he has bad life choice making skills. Don't give him alcohol.
Can you just make him a Shirley Temple and tell him it's alcoholic?
Go ahead and give me the bottle.
Oh
water.
man, I am
Dear
so
God, we're all gonna die.
so tempted. So tempted.
Wait, is he on better behavior drunk? If so, liquor up, man.
I
Oh,
don't know.
no.
We've never seen him drunk, and I don't really trust Pix to be a gauge of that.
God, I'm so tempted right now.
It's all depending on how I roll.
Nah, I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I hand him a bottle.
Alrighty, you start sucking it down, and it's one of the finest vintages you've ever had. It's a really dark red wine.
Oh man, you're gonna get wine farts.
Some sulfites.
Does this carriage have windows that roll down? Like,
No,
we lower them?
no, it's darkened windows.
Yeah, it's a vampire carriage. They don't roll down windows.
Damn it. We're gonna asphyxiate before we get there.
I was so tempted to give him this nice red tea that I have. But I will refrain.
No, I already rolled how I was going to act. So,
Oh no.
Oh, little.
no, that's not the number I rolled.
All I've got to say.
If it was, I'll let you all know, if it was 10 and below, I was going to, that's how I attacked too. The chopped off lady's head. If it's 10 or below, I'd do something. If not, I'd play along.
What did you roll?
I don't know because he
He's
moved
not
the dice
telling.
before I could see.
Yeah, don't tell us. It's more fun if we're not mad at you before you do something.
Exactly.
All I'll preface this with is, y'all try not to metagame. I know it's hard, but I really want to see how your characters react to this.
Okay.
Brain is going into it as a reconnaissance mission more than anything.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Because
Pix is only going because y'all have Kraken.
so many things have already kind of bit us in the ass. She in no way, shape, or form thinks that she's ready to kill the guy who literally was riding through the sky on a fucking nightmare and clapping while we killed druids.
Yeah.
I burnt those bitches to hell.
Yeah, considering how badly he fucked Smough up the last time I met him,
True.
I'm not planning on starting shit. So
we have a healthy sense of fear.
So let's see how this turns out.
Pix is still sitting on the head of the nightmare between its ears, so not happy about this.
Okay. So you ride for a while. It's faster than you would think, though. And that didn't do it. Never mind. And you come up to this castle, and I mean, this thing is right out of the horror books. It's all dark and
Just hear organ music playing in the distance.
Does it look like the
trees
castle from
everywhere.
Castlevania?
Pretty much, or it's like a Dracula type castle. It's very
That's the castle I picture is from the Castlevania game.
yeah.
Is it something where if we added more glitter, the tiny lady would be at home?
It's probably
That would be amazing.
So you pull up in the front, and the carriage door opens, and Pix, you see Rahadin, he steps down and he walks to the outer doors. Let's see here. Everybody exits the carriage, I'm assuming, and you see that there are ornate outer doors hanging open, and on either side are fluttering torches and iron scones. Rahadin beckons you further in, and you see that there is a second set of doors further into the castle. You're standing there, and you're kind of looking around, and all of a sudden they swing open on their own, and they reveal a grand hall that is filled with the sounds of organ music.
Called it.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello. Phantom of the Opera.
You walk in, and Rahadin looks at you, and he says, stay here for a moment, please, and I will announce your arrival to my master. Would you care to freshen up before dinner?
Freshen up? What do you mean?
As well.
I'm gonna smell myself.
I assume we don't have to worry about such things. Well, never mind. Just stay here in the hall, and I will return. And he walks down and goes through a set of double doors further down.
How tall are the ceilings?
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Because I want to know how tall these ceilings are.
15.
17.
Picks.
19.
Okay, let me see here.
I just rolled a 4, so
You're distracted by the organ music.
there's really ornate marble that I'm looking at.
Hey,
Really fancy.
you look up, and these things are probably 50 foot high. But you also see pics that they are pillars. There are 4 pillars, like in the middle of this thing, that everybody can see. But you fly up a little ways, and you're kind of looking at these things, and you're like, that's kind of weird. And you notice that there are 4 red dragons kind of climbing down these pillars, and they kind of look at you, and they hiss, and then they kind of look at each other, and then they kind of just stand down, you can tell. But yeah.
Oh, look, things that are going to eat us. They could do something bad.
They're medium dragons is what they're called. So they're about 350 pound, 18 foot long
Those would have
dragons.
been real handy when we were trying to burn stuff down. I'm just...
Yeah.
Hmm.
So from up above, all anybody hears
You got one of those.
yeah, is this lovely, disembodied voice going, well, isn't that just a lovely crock of shit?
Yeah.
I'm getting real bad idea chills.
Yeah. And if I don't assume anybody else wants to do anything, do you?
I still want to fly around, kind of give those guys a wide berth.
Is there like a side room, like a drawing room or anything right around this hall?
Y'all are in.
Stay in the hall. Did you know that?
Y'all are in a rounded room right now. There's the 4 columns that lead up. There's a stairwell to the north of you, a grand, huge, ornate stairwell with, velvet carpeting coming down. There's double doors right in front of you. And then the hallway goes further down to the south, and that's the direction that Rahadin went in.
Okay.
I would say that Bran poops herself a little, but she doesn't have a mouth, so she doesn't eat. So there's work.
So,
Well, I'm just back there muttering to myself, like, well, could have changed into my fine clothes that I have. That would have been nice, but no one want to freshen up.
You probably still have time.
Oh,
I want to be crouched, kind of like when my cat hides. She's underneath, just looking at things, and I feel like I'm on high alert.
All right.
We have come into the den of the enemy.
Literally his den.
Yeah.
No, this is the entry hall. The den's for.
This is the foyer.
I'm a Viking. I don't know. I live in a tent, man.
Yeah, y'all. Speaking of which, you're sitting here and you see somebody coming down the stairs. And of course, I can't show you her picture right now, but it is
A burrito?
It is a young woman. She has black shoulder-length hair, a gold ornate dress, ball gown with sleeveless with the gloves that go all the way up that match. She's very petite. And you notice that she has golden horns growing out of her head. And she has a full skull mask, but it's a surprisingly catfolk origin.
That bitch stealing my look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna be best friends until I heard cat, and I went, oh no.
And
looking like Audrey Hepburn.
Stealing her face.
Upside, if we just accidentally stumbled on a masquerade ball, prepared.
You are.
And she's coming down the stairs, and then she stops when she notices you guys, and she's like, "Oh, I did not know we had guests.
Well,
You look
guess what?
absolutely delicious."
Wow. Aren't
And
you
you
just a lovely bowl of sunshine?
My tail poops bigger.
You-
Also, I think calling people in the vampire's house a ball of sunshine is maybe an insult.
Kind of the point.
And you see her kind of start descending again, and Rahadan comes up behind you guys, and he's like, "Hands off. These are guests of Strahd." And she kind of holds her hands up, and she's like, "Oh, well, excuse me then. I will be on my way."
You think we look delicious now? Wait till we're a little more marinated. And I clink bottles with Gurlich.
She giggles. She giggles, and she's like, "You're funny, monkey man."
I bow.
He's a monkey man.
And she goes into those doors right across from you guys and shuts them behind her.
We got the
And-
impression that she was an adult, though, right?
Probably, yes, an adult, but young.
Okay.
Probably a lot older than she looks.
And
Probably the same.
Rahadan's like, please excuse. The brides don't always get told things like the other
Oh, God.
people are.
The
So.
Brides.
Many.
Oh, well, the master has his needs, of course, and he has multiple brides to...
I already did this
Satisfy
art
them.
project in college.
Well, there goes my fucking hypothesis. I fly back into my pocket and more freaking little papers start flying out.
He turns around and he's like, the master is ready for you now, if you'll follow me. And he leads you down this hallway, and you begin to hear the organ music playing the closer you get to these doors.
So dramatic.
Yeah. And you come to a set of double doors. And
I
with
throw in the mouth harp and start playing along.
From inside the pocket, all anybody hears is, "Oh God, not again!"
Do you seriously do that, Gurlich?
Yes.
Give me a performance check.
Oh God.
Boing, boing, boing.
Yep.
Let's go. I've got a -1 as a modifier, so it's 0.
Nice.
You break it off.
You hear Pig screaming, "Oh God, not again!"
The organ's playing one song, you're playing Real Slim Shady.
Rahadon turns to you and he just kind of shakes his head and he said, "If you would please put that away, it might be for the best." And he turns back around and he throws open these double doors.
I put
And
it
he
up.
kind of ushers you guys through. And you see 3 enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminating a magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls, supporting the ceiling. In the center of a room, a long, heavy table is covered with fine white satin tablecloths. The table is laden with many delectable foods: roasted beef basted in a savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables.
At least it's not wolf.
Places are set for each of you with fine, delicate china and silver. Pix, you notice that your place has actually like a tiny little chair and its own tiny little table with its own, like, your size, exquisite goblet and silverware set.
Sad thing is I don't see it because I'm still in my pocket, now going through all my notes and my hypothesis, and like just little papers are flying out of my pocket.
Each place setting also has a crystal goblet filled with amber liquid, which has a delicate and tantalizing fragrance. At the center of the far west wall, between floor-to-ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ, its pipes blaring out a thunderous melody that speaks in its tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ facing away from you, a single caped figure pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy. The figure suddenly stops, and as deep silence falls over the hall, it turns towards you.
I really thought we were going to have to shout over the organ, and I was going to turn to one of my party and be like, how are we supposed to talk to him?
You do that right as he stops.
Oh.
He stands up, and it is Brian or Smough. You would automatically recognize that this is Strahd that you had the encounter with before.
The tortured artist.
And he looks at you and he's like, my honored guests. I am Count Strahd von Zarovich, son of Barvo and Renovio,
Can't even pronounce his
rightful
own
lord
name.
of Barovia.
Been hitting the bottle already. I bet.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you can't even pronounce your own name. Damn.
It's tough, okay?
We love you, Sarah.
It's the accent. It's the accent. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the accent. I do.
He is like, come, have a seat. You're my guest this evening. Eat and drink and make merry.
I'll
As
take
long
a
as we
seat.
don't turn into the dessert, game on.
So you all sit down, and he says, I have waited to meet all of you, if you would. I have introduced myself. Will you not introduce yourselves to me?
You and I have already met.
Yes, we have. And I am glad that we have come far from that unfortunate first encounter.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, especially the part where I died and got monkey feet. That was not a good day.
Unfortunate indeed.
Thought he liked his feet.
And you, barbarian, will you tell me your name and where you hail from?
Introduce your spear.
From the mountains. I ended up in the weird dwarf lady place, and then I found pigs, and everything was fine from there. Enough said.
Will you ask the little one to come out and have a seat?
No.
It's probably better if you don't.
It's probably best if we don't bug her if you want decent conversation.
More little pieces of paper flying out of the pocket.
Oh, I see, I see.
It's best to leave
Women
that
can
alone
be
for now.
fickle at times, no?
Let's just leave that unspoken.
Even though I'm invisible, just a little hand comes up out of the pocket.
You see this little tiny hand?
Yep.
And he can
Vampire
probably
with
see
fucking-
it.
With true sight.
And you sisters. I have not seen your kind. Where are you from, if I might ask? And what are your names, please?
I just look at my sister like, you got this.
I'm Air. This is my sister Bryn. We're of a clan from the far north, long ways away from here.
I see. And you, little cat folk, why are you here? What is your name? What do you seek to be away from your people? We don't get many of your kind either.
I'm venomous. You don't want to eat me.
I
I'm made of poison.
he just laughs. He's oh, funny little one. What is your name?
I don't. Does it feel very formal?
It feels pretty formal to me.
Don't worry, I do not bite.
Now, Solace, when you see that there's more than one fork, it's formal.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't know, I'm trying to decide, like, what monastery custom would be, because, like, I am Winslab Solace of the Plainstrider clan from the monastery of so-and-so, and, like,
Yeah, I feel like that's
Sister
what,
Mary Clarence of the Sacred Heart, blah, 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 and
It's
can I just go
probably
on
that
and on until it
formal.
gets bored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably.
I do that.
Ah, it is nice to meet all of you at last. I've been following your journey through my country for a while now. Some things have been a little bit of a bother for me, but other things have been quite entertaining. You know, I conquered this land hundreds of years ago, fighting a war for my family's enemies. And now it is all that I have left. But we shall not talk about such things. This is a party after all. Shall we eat and make merry? And
Who's Mary?
I have no idea what he means.
I love how Bear and Solus are having this conversation. It's like, who's Mary? I have absolutely no idea.
I do have a question, and you may have said it when my internet was being wonky, but so there's a tiny mini place setting for Pix. Is there a chair without a place setting for me, or does he not realize that I can't eat?
Shitty host.
Well, your skull face covers. I mean,
Well,
I
that's
suppose
why
it depends on that bride.
That's why I'm asking, is because I'm curious if he knows, because he knows that Brian got cursed. So,
But you can see his.
Yeah.
yes, there is a place setting for you, Jenna.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yes.
You only get to smell things, though.
I don't want to eat it anyway. I don't trust anything the vampire lord is giving us.
I lean over to Solus, and there's a whole bunch of forks and knives and spoons.
Start at the one furthest from the plate and work inward.
We're just using one of the
Yeah,
forks to
the
pick
pirates being all
teeth
like
at this
that.
point.
Oh, I've loaded up my plate.
Yeah.
It's a free meal, guys.
I put enough food on my plate that there's little enough of it that I can move it around and make it look like I ate without eating.
Did you say there's peas?
I'll
Yeah.
take a little food.
If there's
I'm eating.
peas, I want to use my spoon and surreptitiously like ping one over at Smough.
Ow.
If I see this, I immediately reach over and like full on monster it, like slap the hand down. No.
When you
Could at
do
least
that,
enjoy ourselves.
Strahd kind of puts his glass down and he laughs. And he's like, "You are so entertaining. I haven't had this much fun in centuries."
Oh God, he's gonna want a cat pet.
Yes, they entertain us frequently and often.
He seems
Why
fun,
did you
but
bring
he
us here?
may not the litter box.
Oh damn! Just get straight to the point there, why don't you?
Well, we're all thinking it.
Irina, yes, Irina is my most treasured guest. I thank you very much for getting her to me. Her brother was filling her with all kinds of vile lies,
I believe
but
it.
now she is safe here.
Could we see her?
Ah,
I'm not sure she wants to see us.
I don't know.
Pretty much.
I don't know if that could be arranged. Irina is very, very precious to me, and I do like you, but I honestly do not know you enough to trust you with one of my most precious.
You just made an interesting
Beans.
point there by saying you don't know us well enough, but you seem to know a hell of a lot about us in these notes you sent us to get us here. So I'm not buying the whole you need introductions and you don't know us.
Show us the precious.
Oh, well, I have been here for a long time, and I have certain ways of finding those that I find interesting. You
What
are
about
correct that I brought you here. I had various reasons for that.
Which are
Would
what?
you care to share those reasons, since you did upend our lives and bring us to your country?
And what do we need to do to go home?
Well, my dear sir, that is why I brought you here. You see, I bring people here who I see that are strong and could possibly step in as a successor for me. I am unfortunately stuck in this place by powers that are stronger than me, and my only way out is to find a successor that
When he
rightfully
says
can take my
when he
place.
says the thing about the power is stronger than him, Bryn says in his head and only his head. You mean the voices in the dark?
Ah, yes, my dear. They are very, very powerful and dark. But I hope one day I will find one who can take my place. Unfortunately, I don't think any of you will do that, but you have given me so much. You have brought me Irina on a silver platter. You have vanquished the hags who were causing trouble and not giving me their due. You also got rid of that vile Vlakovich family in Lopalaki. I'll have to rid it of that insolent man Isaac, but that shall be no problem at all. So, honestly, you've did me many favors while you've been here. So, I would like to reward you, shall we say?
What form does this reward of yours take?
Well, I mean, I think you are owed some monetary reward. I also have quite a few magical items in my possession, but I think what you want most is to go home, no?
Yes.
A little bit of both would be nice.
I would be happy to send you home, or if any of you would like to stay, there is Valaki who will soon need a burgomeister. And he turns to you, Smough, and he's like, I think you would make a good leader for them if you wish. If not, I can send you home. The choice is yours.
It's a pretty tempting offer. That town sucks, though. Is there a better one?
He laughs. Well, Barovia is also free, but unfortunately it had some structural damage. I don't think you would know anything about that, would you?
Hey, the house that we caught on fire grew back.
The house that we caught on fire, the house that he caught on fire didn't.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all Smough's fault.
All right, so maybe we burned down a little shit's mansion, but he had it
We
covered.
panicked.
Nobody
Yes,
really liked him.
yes. As I said, you brought me my beautiful Irina, and that in itself is worth more than you can imagine. So eat up and enjoy your meal, and if you wish, I will send you home after this.
Now, you
No strings
mentioned
attached. You send us back exactly where you brought us from.
Yes, yes. And all this can be forgotten.
you just said a minute ago something about taking your place. What do you mean by that?
Well, I have been here for many years now, and I am, as you would say, a prisoner in my own right by those dark powers who gifted you with your monkey feet and who have obviously touched the lady over here. I have only one lead to getting rid of this curse is to find somebody who can take my place and who is capable of that. That is why I bring in these adventurers to test them and see how they stack up. But no offense to you at all, but I just do not think that you are what I am looking for, shall we say.
So you bring people here, torture them, toy with them, and then dispose of them. Lovely.
It's quite entertaining, I assure you.
And why would anybody want to volunteer to be you, since you just confessed you're a prisoner of your own curse here?
Oh, well, I did not say that they were volunteers, my good man.
All right.
You mean to force a succession on someone?
No, we can say that, but as I said, this is no concern of yours, because I do not think that any of you would fit what I am looking for, and if you want to go home, home you shall go.
Hmm.
With my...
I'm frantically texting a Bryn and Air conversation. Chelsea to not be just talking over everybody.
I mean, as I said, I will even reward you with items of magic and money, as people seem to value that.
And what's the catch?
No catch, good sir. As I said, you have given me more than I could ever imagine. If you would allow me to, I will tell you a story that might clear some things up. You see, back when I was still a man, I was in love. I was in love with this beautiful creature named Tatiana. And she had my heart, and I thought I had hers, until on our wedding day, she decided to run off with my brother Sergio. As you can imagine, I was very distraught, and I went insane for a bit, and I killed my brother out of anger and hatred, and I regret that very much. I've had many years to regret his death. And Tatiana was distraught, and she threw herself from the cliffs before I could reach her. Lucy. And so I lost both my brother and my love at the same time. I tried to strike a deal to get it all back, and that's how I ended up here. The dark powers are very tricky in their ways. And now I am stuck in this endless loop. She and my brother are both reincarnated every so often, and I try to right the wrongs that I did and to win her heart, but it seems every go-round I do not manage to do that. The dark powers in some way get in my way and destroy what I desire more than anything, but this time you delivered her to me.
Pix
And
pops out of the pocket and just screams, I knew it!
Who's the brother?
If the brother's reincarnated as well, then you know who he is.
yes, I know who my brother is. I've kept an eye on him. He is in Krevik. But
Krevik.
as I said, that is no concern of yours. Because after you eat your meal, I will allow you to return back to your lives with rewards beyond your imagination.
Speaking of rewards, there's only one thing that two things that I want, but one of them I'm not sure you can help me with since the dark powers seem to be more powerful than you. I'm not sure if it's something that I can do here or if I need to go home to do it, which is the problem. But my sister and I have been tracking a wizard. The funny thing about this wizard, he seems to bring vampires with him wherever he goes. Would you know anything about him?
Maybe one that stood against you and that you turned, and they're released onto an unsuspecting world.
No. That was a wizard not too long ago, but I killed him. I threw him from the cliffs, and he died. So
That way?
Hmm?
And he stayed that way?
As far as I know, he did. And that is what my people told me.
Nothing stays that way here.
Yeah, we're kind of learning that.
Are there any fire giants close by?
Not that I'm aware of, my friend.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, I gotta do this. All right. So you literally made a pact with the powers that be. They created the monkey feet and the mouthless one. You've been living this lie over and over and over again. Constantly trying to get the girl that told you no to get you to love you. The world keeps creating them over and over again to torture you. Wouldn't it be so much easier to break the curse by letting them go?
I have tried that, little one. It does not work, unfortunately.
Even if you let them go to be together?
Yes. I have stayed back and allowed them to be together, and it did not work.
That is not you letting them go. That is you trying to break the curse. You have to let her go.
But you see, the curse does not only work on me, it works on them as well. I cannot release them as I can you. I did not bring them here. I brought you here. That is the difference.
You are still not getting it.
Want to go, Pig?
I think in the millennia he's had to work on this, he's probably gotten it.
He hasn't got over his emotional issues.
And he
does have big emotional issues.
Maybe we should get him to bring in Dr. Phil.
Who's this Dr. Phil? Is he a great warrior?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
No, he's a big
cleric of the brain.
Yeah.
I really take offense to you referring to that man as a cleric.
Yeah, he's just a big talker.
Think of him as a rod that works on your brain.
She knows a lot about bards, believe me.
He's a cleric of the goddess Oprah.
Unfortunately, as to your request that you left unspoken, I cannot undo what the dark powers have done. I wish that I could, but alas, I cannot.
Do you
If
have
we
any
leave
idea?
here, do the curses go with us?
I do not know. I've never left.
Do you have any
Wait a
idea
minute.
what those creatures were that actually bestowed these gifts?
They are dark entities from another plane that I unwittingly made a pact with long ago.
I see.
I
What
do not
was your
know
pact?
exactly what they are, but
What pact did you make with them?
I made a pact to give me these powers, and so I could overthrow my brother. And unfortunately, in doing so, I led to the death of so many in this place after we were sealed in.
Nobody ever reads the fine print.
I admit I was foolish at the time, but I was crazed by abandonment.
Jealousy.
Well,
Yes, jealousy and the loss of my one true love.
Well,
And not really your one true love if they don't love you back, dude. Just saying.
Good,
Ooh.
darling. Darling, remember what we talked about? Good behavior.
I'm being good.
well, how's this sound? Let us finish our meal, then we will talk it over.
Yes. Yeah, that is fine.
well, I'm already a landowner and a soon-to-be business owner here.
Potentially the Burgermeister.
I'm thinking I may as well add to my resume. It's a pretty tempting offer, and I don't really have a home to go home to anyway. So I'm inclined, to be honest.
Well, I would be happy to have you. We seem to work well together.
That's true.
I do have people to get back to, and people I owe a death.
Yes, I believe we seek a certain wizard's head, and is obviously not to be found here.
Yes. So, and he stands up and kind of brushes himself off, and he's like, I will leave you to discuss. Would you care to stay the night, or are you?
No.
No, I think we just need to have a little party discussion and go from there.
All right. I will leave you for, let's say, an hour, and I will return for your decision. And he bows to you very regally. And
Get the hell out of here. Let's
he
get the
goes
hell
and
out of
walks
here.
up to the doors, and they open automatically and shut behind him.
I'm so close to knowing the answer. I'd already figured everything else out.
Okay, quick show of hands. Who actually trusts that this man will send us home?
Right.
That's
Nah.
the only thing keeping me from agreeing to leave. If the powers don't let him leave, what?
How is he going to send us home? I mean, he did bring us here, but can we trust him going to send us home?
Have the curse,
To the right place?
if I didn't have the curse, I would be more apt to think that the dark powers would maybe let us leave. But
No, the dark powers are letting him bring
You have to
people
promise
in
it.
to add to what's
What-
here. They're not going to let him send people out.
When you were dead, both of you, when you were dead, did you have to promise anything to the powers? Did you have to make a deal or anything to come back?
to take the gift,
Yep.
That was it. There wasn't
That
any
was the
fine print.
only stipulation. We can send you back, but
we were literally dead in the dark. There was no fine print to be read, and there wasn't like the thing at the end of commercials where they read it off really quickly. It was literally, if you take this gift from us, you don't die.
do you want to
Chelsea.
live? Here you go.
I will say, Air does remember the knowledge, or have the knowledge that the Vistani come in and out all the time because they are the favored of Strahd.
Could we arrange for him to let us leave with the Volaki? Because I at least trust them to take us out, not just kill us and be like, they're not in Barovia anymore.
We would. Okay, if we trust him to take us home, we would be leaving this country in his hands. I mean, it's
Been in his hands for
no
thousands of
problem.
years.
Honestly, fuck this shit show.
I'm in agreement.
I'm with her.
The only thing I don't like is I'm so close to knowing the answer. I already had all the other answers before he ever even told his story, and I'm only missing one piece.
But what's the point of having the answers to
If
the
we-
questions about Strahd if we're not dealing with Strahd anymore?
Because I don't like unanswered questions.
Well, I'm sure that there's lore about him in the other world that you could do some research without actually being trapped here.
And the Vistani would have some information for you, I'm sure.
That, and if we do get to leave, like she said, the Vistani come and go as they please. If you really want to come back to get those answers, just hitch a ride with the gypsies.
Are we actually considering this? Are we actually thinking that he might send us home with nothing? Just send us home and not cost us something.
I think at this point he wants us out of his hair.
What's the worst that could happen?
We all die horrible screaming deaths from a spell from a millennial-old vampire?
Well,
But then
joke's
we
on
just
him.
come-
We don't die here.
Yeah, we just
We'll
come
just all come
come
back,
back
and
worse
we'll
off
still be in
than
his hair.
Maybe I'll have monkey hands.
we see,
Lucy,
there you
what
go.
Soul is thinking?
She's not really sure. She does want to go home, but her suspicion right now is that Strahd had to make a pact with the dark powers to get enough power to overthrow his brother. So maybe regular vampires are not that bad. And we maybe should just try to get his powers removed.
Well, I'm personally inclined to stay because I've already got
You got a setup going.
yeah. I'm a landowner, business owner, could be Burgermeister, gold.
I mean, I would like to point out that all of those deeds are still in my possession.
That's fine.
You don't know that they still exist. As far as you know, they burnt up when we left the death house.
Well, you shouldn't.
I
have
mean,
included
I
our big
feel like
Snow's inventory
Barovia
on your
probably
notes.
has. I feel like Barovia probably has squatters' rights. So
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Well,
I don't like the idea of leaving him here and try. I mean, I don't like the idea of trusting him to send us and treat us fairly. I find our own way.
My only concern with any of this is whether or not he's genuine in his offer to let us leave. As far as everything else is concerned, yes, we're leaving him here to do the same thing he's done for however long he's been doing it, but he's trapped here.
Exactly.
But what if he get rid of us because we're the first ones in a long time that he's actually worried about?
Then we walk out of his castle with targets on our backs. Because if we don't leave, he's going to know why.
Not if we say we plan to take Velaki. Maybe we decided to make a maybe we decided to make a
I already called dibs on that.
I know
We've
that.
decided to split the party.
I'm saying, what if we let him think it's because we decided to stay?
Next session,
Yeah,
we
make
have
a
to
much
deal
of a
with
plan left
Burgermeister
at home.
Smough.
Yeah.
We don't have much of a plan left at home. I don't know about the Goliath Pixie, but they seem to just have each other. And
I've got nothing.
he's
Nothing
like,
worth going back to.
and Solus is a traveler and explorer. What if we just decided to stay here?
I'm cool.
There are things I need to do that aren't here.
I know that, but he doesn't. I'm not saying we actually want to stay here. I'm saying if we don't trust him to send us home, we have to give him a reason why.
How do we get the same deal as the Vistani, where we're gonna hang out until our new buddy is installed, is Burgermeister, and then we'll show ourselves out?
I like this. Yes, we stay to.
We want to stay
Velaki
for his
Smough.
coronation party.
There
We
you go.
stay to take Velaki for Smough, and then we find our own way out with the Vistani. He just has to give us leave to go with them, or tell us how.
If we could get that, I would. Those would be terms I'd be agreeable to. Because my only fear is if we don't agree to leave, that we're going to lose that chance and be stuck here.
Well,
I get a crack at the one-armed bastard, right?
Yes.
yes, his death is actually pretty much the entire plan.
Works for me.
I'm
So we've
happy.
got to kill him to take Velaki.
Also, like, just throwing this out there as a Jenna, not as a Bryn. So do we get, like, Strahd badges? So we're, like, super Strahd police. We have some authority as we wander around Barovia.
I think we get
We have to all wear black.
I think we get the "Hey, I haven't killed you yet" badge.
Oh, okay, yeah, we have that.
And see if we can pick through if he's got anything cool.
No, let's not rob the castle we're in.
No, he said he'd give us stuff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did mention.
The likelihood of those items being cursed, I feel, is pretty high.
Well,
Luckily, we have someone that can identify stuff before we pick up cursed items.
And someone that can remove curses.
Well,
Yeah, I can do that too.
theoretically, we can do that. So far, all of our attempts of curse removal have kind of been shite.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, we were working on the assumption that it was a curse, and it wasn't a curse; it was a gift. So technically, I guess it didn't come with a receipt.
Nope, it did not.
And out of
So
character, even on a cursed item, when you remove curse, it only works on the person, so they can break their attunement.
Mm-hmm.
The item stays cursed, which sucks.
All right, so is everybody in agreement that the tentative plan is basically get the hall pass saying we're allowed to leave when we're ready to leave, and that we're going to tell him we're staying to install Smough as Burgermeister?
Works for me.
I believe so.
I'm game.
All right, sis, you do the talking.
God,
I don't
Yeah.
like
Takes his back in her pocket and just
I don't like talking in the vampire's
papers
head.
flying
It freaks
everywhere.
me out.
All right. So
Is there like a little bell we ring or something?
yeah, I'll say right about that time the doors open back up and
He was just standing outside the door with a glass.
Just listening to all this, like
Strahd walks
my
in.
shirt.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
there's no silverware on the table anymore.
Please tell me that you took Pix's entire little miniature place setting.
Absolutely.
yes.
I rolled a 21
Like
a while
chair
back.
and all. Just all of it.
And he's like, "So, my friends, what is the decision that you have come to?"
I'll be the Burgermeister.
We wish to stay and help our friend take back Voloki, and then we'd like to leave with the Vistani.
With the Bastani.
They travel back and forth all the time, don't they?
They do, but I can make your trip much easier than that, my dear. So our agreement then is that you are going to help your friend take over Valaki and install him as the Burgermeister for me to not have the headache of dealing with. And then after that act, you wish to all return home except for Smough there, correct?
Aye.
Well, you could get a travel pass.
I got nothing to go back to.
Okay.
All right.
I think he was referring to if we wanted to come and visit you.
No. Why would you want to do that?
I'm not really sure, but I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah, we're all great friends.
We might have to come back every now and then, like, make sure you're doing a good job since we are going to instill you into power. So,
Yeah, if you're hurting kids, I'll come back and kill you.
I will make this deal with you. Normally, once you leave, we do not let you return, but I will invite you to the wedding. How
The
is that?
Wedding. Who's your wedding? You're taking another bride?
Ah, yes. When Irina is comfortable with it, I imagine that we will be wed.
Oh wow, we're gonna start that whole process over again? Great.
So we have a deal then. And he holds out his hand.
Does anyone else have anything to add before I do this?
Shake away, my friend. Shake away.
wait. We need this in writing so we can see the fine print. We've learned from that conversation.
He's marrying into a burrito franchise.
Of course. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and Rodden comes walking in with a parchment and a quill, and Strahd glances at it a moment and nods his head, and Rodden walks over to you and he is like, he hands it to you. He's like, if you would all sign this if you require so.
Oh, Pix is looking over that shit like
Yeah, I would like to read this
Oh,
tip to top, please.
I look over my sister's shoulder. Is it written in scripty cursive writing?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I want to see if there's any like hidden glyphs or anything hidden
Yeah, I'm
within the writing.
examining it with like cleric magic to make sure it's not.
Bryn is just looking at the paper and doing this.
What do I need to do to see if there's any hidden spells of binding or anything within this?
If you're looking for spells, you can do Arcana, I'm assuming.
I would also like to examine it with cleric magic and make sure that we're not like signing our souls away to the actual.
We're not
devil.
paranoid at all. I'd like to insight check that piece of paper.
So what cleric magic are you casting?
All right, Arcana check is 14.
Sense good or evil?
Oh God, you use that everywhere.
No, I know what's gonna happen. Like it's good or evil. This entire fucking place is gonna light up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would like.
You're gonna get a migraine and
go insane.
A coma.
Yeah.
I'll sign the damn thing. I'm already agreed.
Okay. Yeah, you sign it. Basically, once you
when he signs it, does it light up like the Little Mermaid?
No, it's just red ink. You're not quite
so totally
that's not
in your
disconcerting
blood
at all.
This guy's
but yeah, basically,
guys, watch out! Bridget's here.
Yeah, basically it says upon installing our party member Smough into the seat of Burgomaster of Vallaki, the rest of you agree that you will allow Strahd to get you out of Barovia, and not to return until you are invited to do so.
Okay, I say it's probably safe to sign it because we've installed our own loophole by we're allowed to stay here as long as Smough is not in charge of Vallaki yet. So if we go and kill all the bad guy assholes and put someone else in charge, and like, hey, you're just a placeholder until our buddy gets ready to take over because he wants to like tour the countryside first.
You're going to renege on Strahd.
I'm not saying that out loud to him. It's not reneging. If you read the contract, it literally says we will leave after we install our buddy in Vallaki. We did not say we were doing that immediately after we left here.
He's got to go on his world tour first.
So you want to play with Strahd then?
No. I'm literally following the contract according to the letter of the way that we agreed to it. There was no time frame put on this.
True.
No metagaming.
Oh, I'm not metagaming. I'm just saying I would think about that long and hard before y'all are all like, oh, well.
I mean, I'm not saying we're going to go, oh, let's just go in the complete opposite direction of Vallaki, but like we're easily distracted. Things happen.
I did piss off a lot of werewolves.
We got to go find a gem.
Yep,
and literally no one put a time frame on it.
Nope.
And we've already been invited to the wedding. What if we're just like hanging out to the wedding? You don't know.
We got to go get a wedding gift.
I got to plan a red wedding situation where there's a bunch of people on a balcony taking out Strahd.
Oh, God.
Before I sign,
okay.
I look.
So after we read it, and my sister says this in my head, I will sign the paper.
Okay. So does everybody sign?
Before I sign, I look over. You mentioned magical weapons.
I have magical items, yes.
There's some up for grabs?
Oh, jeez.
I will gift them to you upon your leaving of Barovia, yes.
Parting gifts is what he's
Parting gifts, yes.
Oh, okay. Big word screw me up. Then I go ahead and sign it.
All right.
I just sign an X.
I'm literally standing on the paper and like looking for anything, any glyphs, anything, everything. While this guy's holding it, I'm literally like standing in his hands.
Yeah, you don't. You can roll a thing?
Yeah, my
Perception, I
Arcana.
suppose, or
Yeah.
Arcana.
Yeah, it was only a 15.
Yeah, you don't see anything. It looks like just paper, really expensive paper with very beautiful script writing.
All right. So I will just use a spell and I'll write my mother's name on the paper.
He looks at it and he's like, I think there might be a problem here, Matt.
You really want my full name?
Yes, I need your name, my dear, not your mother's name.
In the middle between her first name and last name, I write Pixie. Because that is my full name.
Yeah.
Aww.
Thank you.
And if any of you ever utter that name, I swear upon everything I will kill all of you.
He rolls up the parchment and he gives it to Rahadin, who tucks it in his jacket, and Stroud says, well, I thank you for everything that you have done. It has been very entertaining for me and very helpful. I will be glad to see you again. And he kind of nods to you guys and walks out.
Hear that, guys? He'll be glad to see us again. He's going to be so happy we're not leaving immediately.
I don't like any of this.
And Rahadam is like, well, would you care to rest for the night, or are you going straight to Valaki?
Leaving.
We're heading out.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, come this way, and he takes you back through the hall with the dragons, and you can see that they're kind of just glance your way and then ignore you.
Yeah.
And you
Peace
come
out,
out.
assholes.
And you come out the front, and it started to rain, and it's an extra dreary night with the rain. And he's like, if you head into the carriage, it will take you to Valaki right away.
We'll walk, thank you.
I'm sorry, my dear, but that is not an option at this time.
Not an option to leave by our own volition.
Well, you are, shall we say, under the guidance of Strahd at this point, and I think the carriage is preferred method of travel for you.
They've got a bar in there. Come on.
Besides, it's just raining and wet. You would not want to walk all the way to Valaki in this. You wouldn't make it before true night breaks, and there are many dangers on the road. This would keep you all safe.
I mean, we do kind of own the bone grinder mill that's halfway between here and Valaki. We can just,
Right.
like,
Yeah,
stop there
just
for
saying.
that.
We're good.
We can stay
We're
there
not
for the night.
worried about any of the things in the dark. I promise you. We can take care of them.
Well,
We're good.
Maybe a little bit.
Weird.
If you wish for the gates to open, you have to enter the cart. I'm sorry. The carriage.
Can the carriage take us to the bone grinder mill so we can check on it and make sure that the hag lady's not back?
We hate to leave business unfinished.
Well, my orders are to take you to Valaki. After you have dealt with Valaki, those of you who are staying may do as they wish to check on such things. The rest of you, it is not your problem anymore.
Let's just get in the damn carriage and go to Milwaukee and figure it out from there.
Yeah.
I'm already in there.
I mean, we did leave that situation pretty fucked up. Who knows how long that's going to take.
All right, so you
I'm
enter.
still not happy. I sit on one of the nightmares' heads in between their ears. I turn invisible again and I cross my arms and I'm sitting Indian style, all pissed off.
In the rain.
And
Yeah,
I don't care. That
yeah.
pissed off.
This time you notice that Rahadin doesn't sit in the driver's seat. He just shuts the door and the carriage starts moving. The gates open up and you exit Castle Ravenloft and start heading to Valaki.
I'm gonna pack some bottles to go while we're here.
Oh, sure. It's a fully stocked
Steal
bar.
bottles out of the wine bar.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sound like you're wearing spurs every time you step. Clink,
Yeah.
clink.
And
clink.
the jar of gummy bears that I know is in there as well.
Oh yeah.
Do we want to?
While-
Oh, go ahead.
This will be up to you. I don't know how you want to do ceremony spell shit.
Mhm.
But while we're riding in the car, I want to take that empty wine bottle that I took from the Wizard and Wine and make holy water in it.
Okay.
Which I have a spell to do that, so I just didn't know if you needed me to do anything else or.
No, it's fine. You
Fucking
just create it
ceremony,
from
so.
nothing, or do you turn the wine into holy water?
It's an empty container.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, Smough's wine's turning into water.
No, I haven't empty. I got one of the clean
I know. Yeah.
emptied unmade bottles, so I'll just get some rain in it, make it into holy water.
Sounds like a plan. Do we want to stop here for the night? It's like 12:30 here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
1:30 technically.
Well, technically it's 1:30.
Yeah, with the so super cool time change, it's technically even later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Hopefully we won't go 6 weeks without
yeah.
playing this again. Hopefully.
oh, and just so y'all know,
I'll die horribly.
on my behavior roll, I rolled a 19.
No.
So
Okay.
that's the reason I didn't act like a complete ass.
And that's the reason he was Pix's conscience and her not constantly prying him for information.